Thank you for joining us in our briefing about HSS Valiant, the top-of-the-class spaceship built specifically for the mission to Titan. We have world-class engineers and scientists who have worked on this project for many years. I would like to introduce you to Bill Herman, the chief rocket scientist, who will brief you on the launch and assembly of the spaceship. On to you, Bill.
We will be launching the components separately to space where they will be docked. We will also be using an antimatter engine for propulsion and RCS thrusters to create artificial gravity. This clip will show you how the launch and docking of one space plane to the spaceship would look like.
For us humans, we have spent our whole lives in Earth's gravity. It's extremely unhealthy to spend 7 years in a spaceship to Titan while being weightless, in order to allow the body to not adapt to the gravitational differences between Earth, the spaceship, and Titan. We've decided to create artificial gravity that mimics Titan's gravity. The spacecraft will be rotating like this, and will generate a centripetal acceleration of 1.35 meters per second squared. This will also not require large amounts of angular velocity, and hence will not cause an increase of nausea and disorientation due to the effects in the inner ear. As for communications, we'll be having a large antenna that sends highly concentrated radio beams. To mitigate the effects of the inverse square law, we'll be using high-power RF amplifiers that transmit high-bandwidth communications to Earth through nearby interplanetary relay satellites, IPRS, that would have been developed by 2130. The only issue is the astronomically large latency, which unfortunately cannot be reduced. Real-time communication would be impossible, but we can at least convey messages and videos.
Sorry sir, I'll take it from here. Most importantly is the challenge of how to sustain the lives of 50 on the 7-year journey to Titan. Water management is one challenge. There will be a total of 3 water tanks. The first water tank will contain water for consumption and for other use by the crew. Tank 2 will contain wastewater. The recovered water is then cycled back to the second water tank. The water goes through multiple purification steps, including UV treatment and ultrafiltration. The atmosphere in the spacecraft is another challenge. The role of the atmospheric management system is to generate oxygen and remove carbon dioxide and other toxic gases from the atmosphere. Water from the third water tank is passed through to an electrolysis unit where the water is broken down into hydrogen and oxygen gases. This is mainly because water is comprised of hydrogen ions and oxygen ions, and these two ions get dissociated from each other when the electric field is applied. The hydrogen gas is used for the propulsion system, whereas oxygen is released for the atmosphere. Nitrogen would be pumped into the atmosphere from Earth. Toxic gases are filtered from the spaceship atmosphere by a HEPA air filter and vented into space. Growing food is crucial to maintaining the health of the crew. Some consumables may be launched from Earth onto the spacecraft, but this is inefficient and wastes mass. The preferred method is to grow food, especially genetically enhanced plants using stem cells. Meat can also be grown from this method. Another hazard posed to the crew on the long journey is the hazardous radiation in space. To mitigate this, the surface of the habitation section will have aluminium shielding. This will deflect light radiation. Is there anything wrong? Sorry, can you hear me? Hello?
Oh, so sorry about that, Linus. Anyway, about the spaceship. Here on board the HSS Valiant, quality of life is of the utmost importance.
For sleep, much alike to the situation aboard the ISS, the crew members will be in the sleep compartments, where they will be strapped down. This will prevent head movement and changes in the inner ear fluids that result in nausea. The spacecraft has artificial gravity that mimics the gravity of Titan, which is extremely low. At this level, the skeletal and cardiac muscles need not work so hard to initiate movement, and this will lead to muscle atrophy. Furthermore, the bone density will also drop, leading to osteoporosis. To prevent this, the astronauts will exercise 2 hours per day to maintain their health, using machines such as treadmills and other exercise machines used on previous voyages. Near the Earth, solar panels can be used to generate energy, but at the outer solar system, solar energy will not be sufficient. Thus, we will use a fusion reactor. Furthermore, biofuel, including human waste, can be burnt at an incinerator. where funerals will also be conducted, should the need arise. I hope you have understood how the spaceship journey is planned for the crew. That'll be it for today. Thank you for joining us.
Police,